Once you have designed and laid out piping systems, you can analyze those systems in several ways. Let's take a look at a few methods. In this project, there are two piping systems, condenser water supply and condenser water return. They are indicated by blue and red colors respectively. When you select a pipe in a piping system, there is an analysis panel that appears on the Modify Pipes contextual ribbon. One of the tools available is the System Inspector. I'll click System Inspector to activate the tool. When I do, a System Inspector panel appears in the drawing area. You can move this panel as needed. To begin inspecting the system, click Inspect. Once I do, arrows appear in the system indicating the direction of the flow. Also, an icon appears next to my cursor indicating Revit is in inspecting mode. Now when I move my cursor over any of the elements in the system, a tag appears showing the flow, static pressure, and pressure loss information at that point. When you move over a heat pump, you can also see the total pressure and excess pressure. Also, be aware that Revit does not just calculate one value for each pipe of the same size. For example, when you move your cursor over a main pipe to the right of a branch, you can see the flow before the branch. Then when you move your cursor over the main pipe to the left of the branch, you can see the decrease in flow. Revit is smart enough to realize that there is a branch and the flow after the tap or T decreases. Also, if you click on any element when the tag appears, the tag will temporarily be placed in that location. You can continue to move your cursor over other elements and another tag will appear. But when you click to place the tag in a new location, the previous one disappears. Only one tag can be placed at once. Once you are finished inspecting the system, you can click Finish in the System Inspector panel. When you do, the flow arrows no longer appear and any tag that was placed is removed. Another way to analyze a system is to create a pipe legend. To create a pipe legend, on the Analyze ribbon, in the Color Fill panel, click Pipe Legend. Note that the Color Fill panel also appears on the Annotate ribbon. Once you activate the tool, a legend appears on the end of your cursor and you can simply click to place the legend. Next, select the legend that you just placed in the drawing area. In the contextual ribbon, select Edit Scheme. Revit displays the Edit Color Scheme dialog. There are three areas in this dialog: Schemes, Scheme Definition, and Options. Include elements from linked files and fill options are available under Options. In the Schemes area, Pipes is the only category available in the category drop-down. There is also one scheme already created. When you select a scheme in the list, you can then see the scheme definition. Let's take a look at the size scheme. As you can see, there are several size values in the value column. Each one of these is marked as visible and has a specific color and fill pattern assigned. If you use this scheme, you can quickly see where the smaller and larger pipes are by looking at the colors of the pipe. I want to create a scheme to check the velocity in the pipes. In the Schemes area, I'll click Duplicate. In the Name Color Scheme dialog, I'll name the scheme Pipe Color Fill Velocity, and then click OK. Next, I need to change the parameter in the color drop-down. I'll expand the drop-down and choose Velocity. However, you can see that there are several options to use when creating a color scheme, such as friction, pressure drop, slope, and so on. When I select Velocity, Revit displays a dialog informing me that colors are not preserved when changing which parameter is colored. Since this is what I want to do, I'll click OK. Also, besides using a value, I want to use a range. This is controlled by the radio buttons above the table. When I select by range, only 2 rows appear in the table. Now I can use this scheme to ensure that there are not any pipes with a fluid velocity too high. To do this, I'll change the at least value in the second row to 5 feet per second, or 1.4 meters per second in the metric file, to have a little leniency. And then I'll click Apply. Next, I'll click in the Color field on the second row to open the Colors dialog. I'll change the color to red and then click OK. Now, any pipes with a velocity greater than what I want will highlight in red. I will also change the color in the first row to green to indicate that the velocity is good. Then I'll click OK to apply the color scheme and close the dialog. Back in the drawing area, everything looks good and it appears the system was designed properly. Remember that you can use several parameters to analyze a design by applying a pipe color scheme. Just to see if a pipe would indeed turn red if the velocity was too high, I'll select a heat pump and change the water flow to 100 GPM, or 6.3 liters per second in the metric file. Once I do, you can see that some of the pipes upstream turn red. Using pipe color schemes is a great way to analyze piping systems.